feminism, 19th century focused on suffrage, voting, property rights. Second feminism focused on workplace, century. Second wave feminism, 19th century. Second wave feminism, 1960 to 1980. Focused on workplace, reproductive rights, patriarchy. Second wave. Reproductive feminism, 1990 to 2010. Intersectionality, diversity and individuality. Intersectionality, diversity and individual identity. Fourth feminism, 2010. Present day digital activism, Me Too online campaigns. Liberal feminism seeks equality through legal reforms. Individual rights. Radical feminism seeks patriarchy as root of oppression. Radical patriarchy, चित्रात्मक, demands structural change, root of oppression. Marxist feminism links women oppression to capitalism. Class exploration. Patriarchy as root of oppression, radicalism. Socialist feminism combines Marxist and radical feminism plus gender. Intersection. Patriarchy root of oppression, radical. Marxist links between women's oppression to capitalism. Intersectional feminism, a coined by Kimberly, consider race, caste, class. Intersectional. Consider race, caste, class, jati, class. Ecofeminism links exploitation of women to exploitation of nature. Links exploitation of women to exploitation of nature. Ecofeminism links exploitation of women to exploitation of nature. Links ecofeminism links exploitation of women to exploitation of nature. Patriarchy. Social system where men hold primary power. Patriarchy. It's exploitation of women to exploitation of nature. Intersectional feminism means intersectional. Race, caste, class. Socially constructed roles, behaviors, identities, gender. Behavior identity, sex. Biological differences between male and female. Glass ceiling. Invisible barrier preventing women from top position. Glass ceiling. Invisible barrier preventing women from top positions. Invisible barrier preventing women from top position. Invisible barrier preventing women from top position. Wage gap. Difference in earnings between the men and women. Difference in earnings. Wage gap. Difference in earnings. Suffrage. Right to vote achieved UK 1918. US 1920. India 1947. Suffrage. Right to vote achieved. Wage gap, difference in earnings between men and women. Suffrage, right to vote. Actually, UK 1918, US 1920, India 1947. Mary Wollstonecraft wrote Vindication of the Rights of Women, 79. Simone de Beauvoir, Second Sex, said one is not born but becomes a man. Betty Friedan, Feminine Mystics. Indian feminism started with reformers like Raja Rammohn Roy, Savitribai Phule. Started with reformers like Raja Rammohn Roy, Savitribai Phule, first Indian feminist teacher, women education. ताराबाई शिंदे, education Rammohn Roy. ताराबाई शिंदे wrote स्त्री पुरुष और तुलना, patriarchy 1882, feminist movement in India. Anti-dowry, चिपको निर्भया, reservation for women, 30% panchayat. Me Too, a global campaign against sexual harassment. Me Too, global campaign against sexual harassment. Global campaign. Male gaze, concept by Laura Mull. Global campaign against sexual harassment, 2017. Feminist critic law, a law often reflects patriarchal values, goal feminism. Dignity for all gender, goal feminism. Equal opportunity, dignity for all genders. Actually, electoral democracy, democracy, electronic democracy. Democracy is use of digital tech for participation of voting. It's e-vote, digital tech. Guided democracy. So election exists about controlled by the military or elite. Amir military. Elected democracy. Democracy ruled by the political elites. Limited mass of participation. Limited mass. Low participation. Political elites. Amir Jada. Ethnic democracy. Democracy for dominant ethnic group. Minority rights. Ethnic democracy. Democracy for dominant ethnic groups. Democracy for dominant ethnic groups. Minority rights. For dominant ethnic groups. Ethnic democracy means democracy for dominant ethnic group. Minority rights limited. Minority rights. Dominant ethnic group. So minority rights limited. Ethnic democracy. Ethnic. Dominant ethnic group. Minority rights limited. Minority rights limited. Ethnic group. ଜାତିଗତ ଗଣତନ୍ତ୍ର ଏଥନିକ୍ସ ପ୍ରଭାବଶାଳୀ ଜାତିଗୋଷ୍ଠୀ ପାଇଁ ଗଣତନ୍ତ୍ର ସଂଖ୍ୟାଲଘୁ ଅଧିକାର ସୀମିତ ଏଥନିକ୍ ଲିକ୍ୱିଡ୍ ଡେମୋକ୍ରେସି ସିଟିଜେନ୍ସ ଭୋଟ୍ ଡାଇରେକ୍ଟଲି ଅର୍ ଡେଲିଗେଟ୍ ଭୋଟ୍ ସିଟିଜେନ୍ସ ଭୋଟ୍ ଡାଇରେକ୍ଟଲି ଅର୍ ଡେଲିଗେଟ୍ ଭୋଟ୍ ଟୁ ଅଦର୍ସ ଲିକ୍ୱିଡ୍ ଡେମୋକ୍ରେସି ଦଳବନ୍ତର ନାଗରିକମାନେ ସିଧାସଳଖ ଭୋଟ୍ ଦିଅନ୍ତି କିମ୍ବା ଅନ୍ୟମାନଙ୍କୁ ଭୋଟ୍ ପ୍ରଦାନ କରନ୍ତି ପ୍ଲୁରାଲିଷ୍ଟ ଡେମୋକ୍ରେସି ପ୍ଲୁରାଲିଷ୍ଟ ବହୁ ବଂଶବାଦୀ ଗଣତନ୍ତ୍ର ପ୍ଲୁରାଲିଷ୍ଟ ବହୁ ଗୋଷ୍ଠୀ ପ୍ରତିଯୋଗ କରନ୍ତି ନୀତି ପ୍ରଭାବିତ କରନ୍ତି ମଲ୍ଟିପଲ୍ ଗ୍ରୁପ୍ସ କମ୍ପିଟ୍ ଇନଫ୍ଲୁଏନ୍ସ ପଲିସି ବହୁ ବଂଶବାଦୀ ପ୍ଲୁରାଲିଷ୍ଟ ମେଜୋରିଟେରିଆନ୍ ଡେମୋକ୍ରେସି ମେଜୋରିଟି ରୁଲ୍ସ ୱିନର୍ସ ଟେକ୍ସ ଅଲ୍ ସିଷ୍ଟମ୍ସ ବହୁସଂଖ୍ୟକ ଗଣତନ୍ତ୍ର ବହୁସଂଖ୍ୟକ ନିୟମ ସମସ୍ତେ ବିଚିତ ନ୍ୟାୟ ପ୍ରଣାଳୀ ଅଲ୍ ସିଷ୍ଟମ୍ consensus democracy, सहमति गणतंत्र consensus, a power sharing broad agreement, Switzerland, क्षमता बंटन व्यापक चुक्ति तथा स्विट्जरलैंड, पार्टिसिपेट डेमोक्रेसी सिटीजन एक्टिवली एंगेज बियॉन्ड वोटिंग, ग्राम सभा, अंशग्रहण करी भोट देवा व्यतीत सक्रिय भाव कार्य करते, ग्राम सभा, deliberative democracy making decisions through reasoned public discussion, deliberative विचारात्मक गणतंत्र, deliberative democracy युक्तियुक्त सार्वजनीन आलोचना मध्य निष्पत्ति ग्रहण, decision making through reasoned public discussion, युक्तियुक्त सार्वजनीन आलोचना, निष्पत्ति ग्रहण, decision making, public discussion through democratic, social democracy, democratic political system with welfare state, Nordic country, social democracy, democratic political system with welfare state, सामाजिक कल्याणकारी राष्ट्र, सोशल डेमोक्रेसी, सोशल सामाजिक गणतंत्र, कल्याणकारी राष्ट्र सहित गणतांत्रिक राजनैतिक व्यवस्था तथा नॉर्डिक देश, डेमोक्रेटिक पॉलिटिकल सिस्टम with welfare state, Nordic countries, liberal democracy, election held but civil liberties restricted, उदाहरण निर्वाचन अनुष्ठित किंतु नागरिक स्वाधीनता प्रतिबंधित, लिबरल डेमोक्रेसी, illiberal, liberal democracy emphasis individual rights, free elections, civil liberties, constitutional democracy, government limited by constitution rule of law, president democracy is executive independent of legislature, व्यवस्थापक ठारू स्वाधीन कार्यनिर्वाही तथा अमेरिका, executive independent of legislature, parliamentary democracy executive accountable to legislature, कृषि गणतंत्र कार्यनिर्वाही व्यवस्था प्रति उत्तरदायी, executive independent, स्वाधीन, डिपेंडेंट डेमोक्रेसी रिलेटेड ऑफिसर्स एक्ट ऑन बिहाफ ऑफ पीपल, अधिकारी मैंने लोकों पक्ष कार्य करते, on behalf of people act, India democracy citizen elect representatives to make laws, India USA, a citizen directly make law, a citizen directly make laws, no ऐसे नचू जा पर जिब ना कौन a citizen directly makes laws, no representatives, directly make law, no representatives, answer that thing. सीधा सर का नागरिक